Good morning and welcome to Smell the Coffee this beautiful Tuesday morning. It's only 9 days into the year, but
Hey.
so much is happening.
So much is happening.
You're joined by Diana Master and Aina Rosa Quayle. Before we get carried away into talking about everything that is going wrong in the world just 9 days in, I have to say, I've been saying this since last year that it's giving end times.
End times. Really, we are in the world of exposés. Everyone is being exposed for who they are, and it's just like wild. And sometimes it comes as this huge shocker because you're like, what?
Yeah.
You also?
Yeah,
Oh my
it's like,
gosh, who would have
what?
thought?
Who would really and truly, most of these people are like, who would have thought? I mean, there are some people, at some point we had doubts. We're like, you could be into something. And it wasn't until the exposés came out that we're like, oh, well, we were definitely onto something by suspecting that you were doing shady stuff.
Do you think that this statement is correct? Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Yes.
Ne?
Where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Sometimes if a rumor comes out, I don't really think it's merely gossip. Something, somewhere, somehow must have happened.
Yeah.
So that this whole story can come out.
Because
Like,
people don't
That's what
just-
I believe.
I
yeah.
also believe that, hey, because you don't just wake up and decide to say, you know, Aina did A, B, C, D, and E.
Yeah, just out of the blue.
Like, I get it. We live in a time where people are chasing clout, people are chasing money, their 5 seconds of fame or whatever. But most of the time, it means there's usually something that is underlying. Like you're saying, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. It's ridiculous. I'm just like, Batum guys, the year just started.
That's what I honestly believe. Like if you tell me something, I will believe at least a 10% of it.
Yes,
and then
you take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, the other 90% I'll wait to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But everything you have to take with a pinch of salt.
Definitely.
Because it means usually there is something there. It may not be as bad as maybe it was made to seem, but moral of the story is there's usually
You know what that pinch of salt is reminding me? It's just reminding me of a nice Laka tequila shot. But nonetheless, we will be right back after the break where we talk Hailey Bailey and what else?
There's
Pope
a woman,
Francis.
there was
Yeah.
a woman that won a lot of money because she found a lottery ticket while she was cleaning.
Nice.
Yes,
Wow. Where
but
do people get
nevertheless,
this type of
we
luck?
will- exactly. Her money manifestations are definitely working. We will be right back with like as Aina said, with our interesting stories. So stay tuned.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Well, the cat's out of the bag. I mean, the story, hey. I got so tired of the whole Hailey Bailey. Is she pregnant? Is she not? Ugh. Anyway, Hailey Bailey gives birth to baby boy, shares first photo after secret pregnancy. Surprise! Hailey Bailey has given birth to her first child. The Little Mermaid star announced the arrival of a baby boy named Halo via an Instagram post Saturday night that showed herself holding her little boy's hand. A gold bracelet with Halo etched on it around the newborn's wrist confirmed his name. Even though we're a few days into the year, the greatest thing that 2023 could have done for me was bring me my son. Welcome to the world, my Halo. She gushed in the caption, "The world is desperate to know you." Page 6 reached out to Bailey's reps for comment. A longtime boyfriend, rapper DDG, also shared the exciting news on his Instagram with the same picture.
I like how shady she was to say that the world is desperate to know you. And it's true, we were, because like everyone was, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? And like she was just keeping this news to herself. And now just put two and two together. You get what she's saying.
I get what she's saying, but at some point, right, like I said before, I got so tired because
yeah.
that was all that was on my Instagram explore. I'm like, yo, Batum, guys, if she doesn't want you to know about her pregnancy, it's fine. But at the same time, I'm like, but how long do you think you can hide a pregnancy? Because for me, there was a video of her opening her Christmas presents from her boyfriend, right? And her boobs looked ridiculously large. Like, those were breastfeeding boobs. And even the way she apparently got up, it was a very, it's like a post-birth
Yeah.
stand up, right? And people in the comments are like, yeah, no, sis definitely
It's also
gave birth.
the outfits. Oh.
It's the outfits. Like, I understand wanting to hide your pregnancy, right? But at some point, you just be like, okay, guys, you know what? Yeah, fine. I'm pregnant.
I would also probably also never announce on social media that I'm
Yeah.
pregnant. I'll only do so after the birth of my child.
Yeah.
And then I'll announce, I'll have a photo shoot, pregnancy shoot. Today I'm posting the baby bump. Tomorrow I'll post that I've given birth with the child's hand.
Yes.
No. Then I'll post the baby shower and then the child's hand.
Soft launch.
Like, it's already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
think
mean, we
that's-
come from African culture and we're very superstitious, right?
Yes.
So I would understand not wanting to announce your pregnancy. But like I'm saying, there was so much speculation. And then there were those shade room pictures where you can clearly see the bump. At some point, right, you just be like, listen, guys, yeah, you know what? Y'all, you figured it out. Yes,
Yeah.
I am pregnant. Because how long were you going to hide a baby?
Imagine.
But
All right, moving over to some unbelievable news. The Pope Francis called on Monday for a universal ban on what he called despicable practice of surrogate motherhood, as he included the commercialization of pregnancy in an annual speech listing threats to global peace and human dignity. In a foreign policy address to ambassadors accredited to the Holy See, Francis lamented that 2024 has dawned at a time in which peace is increasingly threatened, weakened, and even in some parts lost, citing Russia's war in Ukraine, the Israel-Hamas war, the issue of migration, climate crises, and the immoral production of nuclear and conventional weapons. Francis delivered a list of ills afflicting humanity and the increasing violation of international humanitarian law that allows them. But Francis also listed smaller scale issues that he said were threats to peace and human dignity, including surrogacy. He said the life of an unborn child must be protected and not suppressed or turned into an object of trafficking. This is what he said, and I quote, "I consider despicable the practice of so-called surrogate motherhood, which represent a grave violation of dignity of the woman and the child based on the exploitation of situations of the mother's material needs," he said, saying a child is a gift and never the basis of a commercial contract. He called for a global ban on surrogacy to prohibit this practice universally.
Yo, Batung. Huh?
I think the whole statement is absurd. To reduce motherhood to commercial contract.
Okay, hear me out. Yeah. The thing is, not everyone that goes into surrogacy is doing it for money. I know many instances of, let's say, my sister can't give birth and I decide I'm going to carry the child for her because this is someone that is not able to carry the child, right? So I wouldn't think all surrogacy is commercialized.
I don't know. Like, when I saw this story, I was like, what in the world is going on?
For me, it's the ban.
It's the ban. Like, you want to rob other people of the potential of ever having children.
Yeah. Because like I'm saying, not everyone wants to adopt. Because like, let's say you have perfectly viable eggs, but it's just your body that can't carry the child. then that's when a surrogate comes in.
I think the Pope need to go on camera and like explain to us
What he meant,
how
like how.
surrogacy threatens peace.
Yeah, how?
Like, I need to understand that part.
Because I can't make it make sense.
But nonetheless, let's move on.
Anyway, someone whose money manifestations are definitely working. A woman found an old lottery ticket while cleaning, and she won $110,000. A resident of Germany who recently stumbled, across a 2-year-old lottery ticket as she tidied her house for Christmas was stunned to discover she won about $110,000, according to local media reports. The unidentified woman had played the lottery Super 6 in February 2021. She reportedly put the ticket in her desk drawer and forgot all about it. She had spent $44 playing the same 6 digits for 4 weeks. I cannot believe it. It feels like rediscovering a forgotten treasure, the winner said as she revealed that vacationing is on her to-do list. Lottery officials reported that the ticket was in pristine condition when they received it. 2021 winnings totaling more than $660,000 have not yet been claimed in Saxony-Anhalt, officials said. In that German state, prizes from 2021 can be claimed until December 31st, 2024. This was the only 6-figure winning amount that was currently open for such a long time. Lotto Toten Sachsen-Anhalt director Stefan Ebert explained to Der Spiegel.
I have so much love and respect, like, for people who win money. Like, they need to they need to share, I don't know,
their money
manifestations. I don't know, they need to share something. Like, if you win a competition or a lotto where you win money, that's like some grace. You have some grace.
Like, honestly, even if you just win anything, you know, even those, like, you shop and then they say you win a car. What? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
These people who win Big Brother and all these game shows, guys, what's the chance?
Okay, like with things like Big Brother, I kind of understand. But with things like the lottery, you have like a 1 in 1 million
people
chance.
Who win 1 million from sports betting.
From sports betting. Guys, please share with us. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Because we need to get on that this year in 2024.
Definitely.
And also, this just shows that, because you know they always say when you're manifesting something, forget about it, then it comes to pass. I mean, she forgot about the ticket and boom, she won $110,000.
That's what we are doing wrong. It keeps lingering in our minds.
We need to forget about it. Like,
but
it's like,
how
you know
can
what?
Forget about it if you want it so
bad. Like, that's the thing. You can't. It's easier said than done. That is a lie that you can just forget.
Yeah.
And let it. Like, in her case, I guess because she had played 6 consecutive times and she wasn't winning, at some point she's like, you know what? It's done. I'm not going to win. Yeah. I don't think I could ever play the lotto. I don't think I can.
I could. I would.
I don't believe I have the luck. Like,
that's why you wouldn't play.
I wouldn't even waste my time or my money because, again, that's when you become heavily addicted to say, you know what, this week I didn't win, maybe next week.
And these things are addictive.
And what are the chances that the 6 numbers you pick are the ones? No, lotto will just stress me out. I can't. But nevertheless, that does bring us to the end of our top stories. After the break, we get into our interview segment. Stay tuned.
I don't know if you're do you follow culinary trends, or are you more about being authentic to yourself? How does that work for you? Are you more of this is what's trending right now, let me get into that, or more, I'm drawn to this and I want to try what that looks like?
I've never been the kid that says, hey, everybody likes to draw with brown, so I'm going to do pink.
Yeah.
I've never been that kid. You know, if everybody's doing brown, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So I dabbed into it and then see what are the other avenues of what everyone likes. Mm-hmm. So the trend now is, like, beginning of this year, the trend was black plates. Mm-hmm. Everybody got into black plates, to use black plates in their kitchens. And so I said, okay, let me jump in there and see why. Mm-hmm. And I started saying, okay, I'm going to do the black plates too, but they're going to be black clay plates. They're going to have higher edges. We're going to throw out bowls. Bowls are outdated. We're going to use plates that look like bowls, stuff like that. But so I never go the opposite way. I go the same way that everybody's going, but I just find new avenues in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe, like, the whole world is going that way because there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just find the niche or find the uniqueness in that avenue. That's how I see it.
No, I,
opposed to let me be different.
yeah,
Because it's not always great to be different.
I
You know,
hear
it's not
you.
always great.
Yeah,
it
does
works
work. Yeah,
sometimes.
but it's still different in a
Yes.
sense because
Yes.
you still take a trend and then you personalize it to your
Yes.
own, your own creative process around that.
So there's a bit of uniqueness and
Yeah. Still on the creative side of things, I know presentation is everything. I've watched a few master chefs and so forth. How do you approach the visual presentation of the dish?
That's interesting because it's actually very technical.
Mm.
A lot of guys just go straight into it, but it's actually very technical. When you plate food, you never plate in even numbers. You always have to work in odd numbers. So that's a industry secret that I don't think a lot of chefs know. But those that do know might say that guy's giving away our secrets, but it's okay. I want people at home to also be able to plate beautiful,
Yeah.
So you always plate in odd numbers. So, example, like you got chicken, you got rice, you got some sauce. You're never gonna put 2 pieces of chicken on the plate. It's either gonna be 1 or 3. You're not gonna put. So what this creates is it changes your plate from what looks like a homemade plate to like a fine dining plate or just an upper scale plate in a restaurant by plating in 3s. Put your sauces in 3s. If you get a nice plate and it has these kind of dots on them and stuff. If you see that from a very professional restaurant, you'll notice that it's never even numbers. It's either like 1, 3, 5, or 7, 9. It's never 8, 4, 2.
Tell you what, I'm gonna try that this festive season. I'm gonna try to play it like that and
Uneven numbers only.
yes, and then I'm going to be like like the chef at home. Not knowing.
They're gonna ask you where
Yeah,
you get
it just came to me. It just came to me.
You
I'm
know?
creative like that. Yeah, I'm gonna try that at home.
Try it. That is how I go about plating
Yeah.
in that sense.
How do you go about incorporating because there's a lot of local flavor. You are Namibian.
Yes,
Partly
partly.
Namibian. And I would assume you grew up here as well.
Yeah.
So there's that element. There's a lot of local flavors and local ingredients. How do you go about incorporating that into your dishes, or do you incorporate that into your
I
dishes?
do to some degree, but I have my set things that I prefer, and the first thing and the biggest thing that everyone knows is the beef. The beef is supreme, right? Also being from South Africa and knowing that the beef is terrible that side. The beef in Namibia is, I always use that as a key point in a lot of things. When I do stocks, when I do sauces, when I grill steaks, bone marrow, using all of these different elements, just being in Namibia and using a Namibian beef is, it's already another level of that no one can unlock just because they're not in this country. That's already just a, how can I say?
I hear you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's
Fun
like a
fact,
power.
I do brag about that. When I traveled, I'm like, we have one of the best beefs in the world.
Yes.
Like, that's the one thing I really brag about. I'm like, oh, you guys have not come to Namibia if you want a good beef. And also, my parents are farmers, so it's also like another thing to
I know,
brag
it's
about.
definitely.
Yes.
They have bragging rights there for sure.
Yes. Wow. Getting into that, what's your signature dish? And I want to know a little bit about it. So maybe next time I come to Berelicious, I order that. For now, we're gonna have the burger, but next time.
My signature dish depends on the restaurant that I've been in or the menus I've created. For Berelicious, I would say it's the burger. The Delicious burger is a signature dish. And my fried rice. I have many versions of my fried rice. Berelicious' first menu, the fried rice was named Kim's Fried Rice. And this was inspired by a former friend of mine, chef as well. She's great, excellent with her work. She owned the noodle bar in Maromo, so she's very much into Asian food. So this dish was inspired by her. So my fried rice is a signature dish, and then the delicious burger for Berelicious. Before that, I have a few others, but right now those are the key factors: the fried rice and the burger.
I mentioned earlier that I am a writer, and so earlier in the year, I have a movie actually that I wrote and directed. So I took this idea from Albertina. She had an idea about a girl who she's a chef, but she's not the most in-depth experience, and then she goes to this cooking competition, and so we developed the story from that. But so while I was doing research in this, I realized that balancing, I don't want to say flavors, but balancing, the different ingredients in the dish plays a big, big role.
Yes.
So with this story, I hope I'm not giving it away. I want you to go watch. It's called Chef's Kiss, guys. They already know, but yeah, Chef's Kiss.
Chef's Kiss. Okay.
Yeah. So we had a situation where the girl made a simple dish, on their first competition. All these other guys, they went to culinary school and they could do whatever. And she just made a simple dish which was mahangu and pap, and spinach, I think. And that, the way we told the story was based on the flavors that brought this very simple dish to, perfection and to wow the judges.
Yes.
To wow the judge for that. So how do you go about does that really work, or is it just, you just have great ingredients, or is it a matter of knowing how to balance your the different flavors in the dish?
It is a matter of having perfect balance.
Yeah.
That is the first thing. I always tell my kitchen, it's chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking is just chemistry. You need to connect to the food, and you need to know how the food connects. That is, and that boils down to just balance. So you're all right. Like, you can do the most simple thing, but if they connect well, then your dish wins. You need to know what works together. Just on like a chemistry level. Ingredients that understand each other, right? And it's always the pairings that we're not used to that make sense. Always. The ones that we're used to, they play out very boring, and it doesn't create a balance. It creates a safe space, So you don't want that safe space. You want adventures, but there's balance. For instance, a great example is celery and peanut butter.
What?
Yeah. That sounds insane, but
it sounds really insane. I'm just like, should we put this man in jail? What?
Celery and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Great combination, great pairing. Then you pair that with your classic tomato and onion, because the two of them together we know is great pairing from Thai. And then you have your celery and peanut butter, and you add chicken to that. And what you just created now is you created a traditional Angolan dish that's a peanut butter chicken dish, but it's great. But you'll never expect it.
I want to try that. I'm gonna Google how to combine those ingredients. It sounds crazy.
And so that's the kind of balance I'm talking about. We have these two elements, these four elements. You have celery, peanut butter, you have onion, tomato, but you bring them together with a mutual protein like chicken, and you have this very well balanced classic dish.
Great dish, I guess.
Great dish.
In the morning, it's crazy that you should mention that. In the morning, I saw a meme. So I do follow a few chef pages and stuff like that. Like I said, I have a love with it. I don't think I've mastered it, but I have a love for it. So there was a meme there where this guy said he put blueberries in eggs, and then it was like, this combination exists, people. And then somebody commented, so does the police, because you need to be in jail for combining these two. So I hope when I try it at home, people are gonna like it.
It's a scary thought, but it's not too far-fetched if you think about it.
It's not too. Yeah, no, I know I've tried peanut butter in other stuff, like a big dish. I'm like, wow, okay.
Blueberries and eggs. If you do think about it, blueberries and eggs. The moment you add flour to that, and then put it in a pan, it becomes a pancake.
Oh.
So it's not too far-fetched.
Oh.
So it's not too far-fetched. Yeah, so it's maybe not a bad idea.
Maybe not a bad idea. I'm still not going to try that.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Well, that's all the time we have for you today on Smell the Coffee. We thank you so much for joining us. Please do let us know in the comments what your favorite story from today's episode was, and let us know what are some of your takes on the stories that we gave to you guys. But on that note, until tomorrow, from Diana Master and Aina Riza Cuello, it is ciao.